Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be learning how to provide therapy to fat clients from my favorite creator on TikTok, Hannah Talks Bodies. I think maybe it's time to replace these flowers. Pull up a chair, grab yourself a snack of Junior's cheesecake and some of those rice cakes, and let's watch this thing.
As a therapist, I do a lot of work with clients on improving their relationships with their bodies, and I do this work with clients of all sizes. But the way that I do that work with clients of different sizes looks very different.
Okay, so I'm still waiting to get my turn to speak with Hannah, but apparently she's going to teach me how to have a better relationship around my body. Not by changing it to make me feel better mentally and physically, but by looking at things from a different perspective, I suppose.
But probably not in the way that you're thinking. For thin folks, our work almost exclusively focuses on repairing the internal experience. There may be some light work on setting boundaries with friends and family about diet and body talk, but overwhelmingly the work is about allowing the individual to be free from the fat phobia they may have learned from external sources.
What fat phobia? What are you talking about? I go to you as a thin person to get help with my body image problems, and you tell me, all right, okay, I can help you out here. First, we're going to teach you how to unlearn your internalized fat phobia. And I'm just like, what? Who said I had a phobia of anything? I'm not here for phobias. I'm here because I got some body image issues, okay? And you're already assuming that I'm fat phobic? That's very presumptuous.
But that they themselves enforce. On the flip side, when I work with other fat people, we still do.
When I work with other fat people, the inclusivity of the fact that you are also overweight. Have you ever seen that clip of Obama going around shaking people's hands? This is kind of like that. He would go up to white people and be like, hey, how are you doing, sir? Nice to meet you. And then he'd go up to black people and be like, yo, what's good, fam? And then he'd start hugging them and shit. This is like Hannah doing that with her fellow fat people. She's like, all right, if you're thin, I'm going to teach you how to stop judging fat people. But if you're one of my fellow fats, yo, what's good? Get in here. Bring it in. Bring it in, man. Give me a hug.
The internal work, but we also do a lot more.
You do the internal work. How many calories does that burn?
We address the internal, the interpersonal, and the systemic experience.
Systemic again?
Internalized fat phobia has taught us to police our own bodies.
Right. So what are you going to give me advice on if I were thin and I called you? You can't just spend the whole time assuming that I dislike fat people and I have it out for them or whatever nonsense. You understand that the average thin person doesn't give a rat's ass about what fat people are doing. You understand that, right? Part of the great part of getting thin and being confident in your body is that you stop caring about what people think. You just go and live your damn life. You shouldn't have been caring what they think anyway just because you were overweight and they were judging you. It is hard to brush it off when people go around calling you tubby and tubbly and tumbleina. That last one is stupid.
But we are also existing in a world full of people and institutions that purposefully and explicitly police our bodies.
Oh yeah? What institution is policing your body? Your subconscious mind? I think that's the only institution that's policing your body. Subconsciously, you want to be thin and you want to be accepted by everybody else. But it's not just about the acceptance. Also, on a subconscious level, you feel like a failure because you have failed so many times and now you've made an entire profession out of helping people rationalize their own failure. You've also made it part of your profession to teach people the mental gymnastics necessary to disconnect from reality.
In ways that thin folks don't experience.
Oh, there you go, presuming stuff again. You don't think there are any thin people who have had their bodies policed? What about people with a restrictive ED? I guarantee you that somebody who has a restrictive ED gets told to eat 10 times more than you get told to not eat. Okay? We all know that it's socially unacceptable to go up to somebody who's overweight and be like, whoa, dude, maybe you shouldn't have a 10th plate at the damn buffet. But it's probably very socially acceptable if you see somebody's ribs to be like, hey, bro, go eat a sandwich.
It's not just the individual or the occasional insensitive person enforcing these limitations. We have to navigate a vast sea of people and
Gravity is also enforcing these limitations, isn't it? Damn that oppressive gravity. Damn it. Systemic gravity is the real issue here, and I think we can all agree on that. I'm pretty sick of it. Pretty sick of, like, everywhere I go, there's gravity holding me down, literally.
systems that put concrete barriers in our way. For example, when preparing for a medical appointment, a thin person may be concerned about being weighed at the doctor's office because seeing the number on the scale might trigger feelings of comparison or worthlessness.
There you go, making assumptions about what thin people would think when they step on the scale again. Just because you think one way as an overweight person does not mean that a thin person thinks the exact opposite way. You're not two different species, you're just people with two different ways of living.
A fat person might also be concerned about the emotions that the number on the scale could elicit for them, but we are also concerned about how the number on the scale may trigger bad or reduced care from our medical providers.
Alright, so she's saying that if you're thin and you step on the scale, you might feel like, oh no, I really let myself go and I'm comparing myself to others and I feel bad. And if you're overweight and you step on the scale, you'll feel all that stuff too. But also, you will know that your doctor is about to come at you with some health advice that you definitely did not sign up for by coming to the doctor's office. Sir, I came here to get lots of opiates for my knee pain and my back pain, not for health advice based on my weight.
Because it could very well result in criticism, contempt, diversion, or flatly being denied medical care at all.
Oh no, not criticism. This whole movement has the idea that you need to put feelings above physical reality, which actually hurts physical reality. Well, I wanted to tell Jim that his drinking was out of control, but I didn't want to hurt his feelings. As a result, Jim is no longer with us. You see, that's just one example of how shielding somebody's feelings can actually hurt them in a much worse way. You don't always need to go around telling everybody the truth. Okay? That's one thing that I've learned. That's my problem in life. I got a big old mouth, dude, and I'm always saying stuff. Like, I'm always speaking the truth. It has gotten me in so much trouble. And I'm working on stopping that. I'm working on censoring a lot of the stuff that just falls out. You know, if you ask me something like, yo, does this dress make me look fat? Don't ask me that. Do not ask me any question that you do not want a straightforward, honest answer to.
So for fat folks, I am not just teaching clients how to self-soothe and remain focused when they feel stressed. I am also teaching them how to advocate for themselves in these various situations so that they can access the same resources thin folks get without question.
Right, so you're teaching all of your fat clients how to be bossier and more annoying with their doctors and everybody around them. I demand an extra size blood pressure cuff. How dare you? How dare you, fat phobic.
We talk about travel, shopping, job hunting, salary negotiations, school, recreation.
Salary negotiations. Well, I'll tell you right now, if you're overweight, I'm paying you half. Sorry, I don't make the rules. That's just what it is.
And dating, healthcare, and more, because size discrimination shows up in big ways in all of these areas. So, if you're a therapist who serves fat clients and the only work that you're doing with them is about changing their mindset and healing their emotions, but you're not giving them any practical tools to navigate the discrimination they will experience in the real world, then they are being wildly underserved by you.
Right. They would be more properly served by you. You will not only teach them how to deal with all the negative feelings on the inside, you will empower them by giving them the tools necessary to go annoy people in public until they accommodate people in larger bodies. Luckily, Hannah can provide you with the tools to annoy your healthcare providers, to annoy the airlines, to annoy the college campus who has desks that don't fit the rotunda. She's going to empower you against the systemic yada yada yada. Today, I have learned that Hannah is a next level therapist. Okay? All you other therapists are not nearly as good. If you're just teaching people how to get over their emotional problems or deal with stuff that they don't feel like changing, that ain't good enough. You're not providing an adequate level of care, such as our friend Hannah. Thank you, Hannah, for another riveting lesson. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing. And I'll see you in the next one.